Hello friends, welcome to the top 10 MMORPG anime list.
もうよい。わらわのことはバレンタインと呼ぶがよい。
なんですか。
気にするな。
Itsuki Tachibana is an ordinary student at Saiga Academy, a prestigious co-ed boarding high school located in a suburb outside the city center. He's just started his second semester, looking forward to the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. But on one fateful day, Itsuki is unexpectedly summoned to the student council room by Rinazumi, the school's highly esteemed and praised chairperson. He has no idea what awaits him, but he can sense that this is no ordinary summons. As Itsuki enters the room, he is greeted by a group of students who are all part of the student council. They have a serious and urgent matter to discuss with him, and Itsuki can't help but feel a sense of unease. The student council reveals that they have been keeping a dark secret about the school, one that has been hidden from the rest of the students and the public. They need Itsuki's help to uncover the truth and expose the corrupt practices of the school's administration. Initially hesitant to get involved, Itsuki soon realizes that this is a chance to make a real difference and to stand up for what is right. He joins forces with the student council, determined to expose the truth and bring justice to the school. Asahi was a devoted gamer and a valuable member of the online RPG community. She died suddenly while playing the popular game Union, leaving her friends and fellow players devastated. The members of Subaru, the in-game guild Asahi belonged to, drifted apart in the aftermath of her death. 6 years later, a renewed version of Reunion is released, and Haruto, Asahi's childhood friend and former guildmate, logs in to explore the new world. To his surprise, Haruto discovers that Asahi is somehow present in the game, despite having died years ago. Is she a ghost, a mirage, or something else entirely? As Haruto and Asahi explore the world of Reunion together, they begin to uncover the truth behind Asahi's strange existence in the game. Hiroshi Yuki is a passionate gamer, and he couldn't resist trying out Kiwame Quest, the latest and most realistic VR MMO game ever made. But little did he know, the game was going to be more than he bargained for. The game was so lifelike that he could feel every emotion, every sensation, every pain, and when he gets hurt in the game, he feels the pain in his physical body as well. As much as he loves the immersion, Hiroshi quickly realizes that his skills in the game are as pathetic as they are in real life. But he refuses to give up. Determined to win, he makes a solemn promise to himself that he will conquer this game no matter what it takes, even if it means risking his life. As the game grows more challenging and dangerous, Hiroshi begins to question if winning is worth the risk. Is he willing to sacrifice everything, including his life, for a game? Or should he step back and reevaluate his priorities before it's too late? Sakamori Kagami, an avid gamer, had spent countless hours playing the popular MMORPG Earth Online. But one day, something unexpected happened. He woke up inside the game world as a young woman, with no memory of how he got there or how this transformation occurred. Confused and disoriented, he soon realizes that this is not a simple glitch, but the result of the adjustments he had made to his character during his last session. Determined to make the best of the situation, Kagami sets out to explore the game world and discover what he can about his new body and abilities. However, things take a turn for the worse when he discovers that he is not just any ordinary character, but a pupil of the legendary wise man who vanished 30 years ago. Now, Kagami must convince the people of the game world that he is who he says he is, while navigating the challenges of being a young woman in a fantasy world.
私はネメス、エンブリオ、タイプメイデン・ウィズ・アームズ。今後ともよろしく。
In the year 2043, the world was introduced to a revolutionary video game that completely immersed its players in a virtual reality experience unlike anything ever seen before. The game, known as VRMMO, engaged all 5 senses and featured lifelike NPCs that made the experience feel truly real. For Reiji Mukadori, this was an opportunity to escape the mundane reality of his everyday life and venture into a world of adventure and excitement. Upon entering the game, Reiji joined forces with his brother Shu, and together they began exploring the vast and immersive world of VRMMO. However, Reiji soon discovered a chilling fact: unlike his own in-game character, when NPCs died, they were gone forever. This realization shook Reiji to his core and made him realize the true gravity of the game's consequences. Khan is an ordinary teenage boy who spends most of his free time playing a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, MMORPG. He is quite skilled in the game, but he feels like he is going nowhere in his real life. That is until a mysterious girl in the game asks for his help in the real world. Curious and intrigued, Khan agrees to help the girl, and he suddenly finds himself transported to a strange and unfamiliar fantasy world. He lands on top of the leader of a group that was threatening a princess and her followers, and he ends up joining forces with the princess's group as they search for a way back to his own world. As Khan travels with the princess's group, he finds himself in danger at every turn, fighting off fierce creatures and outsmarting cunning enemies. He discovers that he has unique abilities and skills that he never knew existed, and he quickly becomes an essential member of the group. Throughout his journey, Khan never loses sight of his ultimate goal, which is to find a way back to his own world. However, he also learns the importance of embracing new experiences and stepping out of his comfort zone. The princess and her group become like family to him, and he realizes that he has found a place where he truly belongs.
乙女の悩み？さあ、この秘められたお兄さんに何でも話してごらん。ね。
Moriaka Mariko is a 30-year-old single woman who has given up on the real world and dropped out of society. Seeking solace, she finds refuge in an online game where she can start anew as a handsome young man named Hayashi with silky hair. Despite her lack of experience in the game, she finds a helpful ally in a kind girl named Lily, who guides her through the virtual world and keeps her from dying too many times. Meanwhile, in the real world, Mariko has a fateful encounter with a mysterious and handsome salaryman named Sakurai Yuta. As she begins to interact with Yuta more and more, Mariko finds that the real world is starting to impact her online world as well. The once clear boundary between the two worlds begins to blur, and Mariko finds herself struggling to keep her two lives separate. In the VR MMO game Maple started playing, everyone else is focused on building up their attack stats, but Maple has a different idea. She decides to put all her skill points into defense, making her practically invincible. But she takes it a step further and adds a few unusual abilities, such as the ability to turn into a tree and heal herself. At first, everyone thinks Maple's strategy is ridiculous. After all, what good is a player who can't move or attack? But they soon realize that Maple's invincibility makes her an incredibly valuable asset to any party. They start to follow her around, hoping to get in on the action. Maple quickly becomes an online sensation, with other players sending her messages and asking to join her party. She forms a guild and takes on increasingly challenging quests, all while sticking to her strategy of building up her defense.
シロエ殿、このおかしな人に膝切りを入れて良いだろうか。
入れてから聞くなよ、チミカ。
Elder Tale was once a popular online RPG enjoyed by millions of players around the world. But one fateful day, everything changed. Tens of thousands of players became trapped in the virtual world, unable to log out. What was once a mere hobby had become a harsh reality for these players. The once delicious in-game food now tasted terrible, and death was no longer just a game mechanic, but a terrifying possibility. Amidst this chaos, a group of new friends banded together to survive in this new world. Among them were the analytical Shiro, the perverted and proud Natsugu, and the tiny and adorable Akatsuki. As they adjusted to their new lives in Elder Tale, they faced countless challenges, from dodging player killers to battling ferocious monsters. The group's teamwork and ingenuity were put to the test, as they struggled to survive and find a way back to the real world. But as time passed, the line between the virtual world and reality began to blur. Some players started to question if they even wanted to leave Elder Tale and return to their old lives. They had formed strong bonds with each other, and the world of Elder Tale had become their new home. In 2022, Sword Art Online is the most immersive MMORPG ever created, and gamers are eager to jump into the virtual world it offers. Kirito is one of the first players to join the game, having spent time as a beta tester, and he quickly befriends newbie warrior Klein. But what was supposed to be a thrilling adventure quickly turns into a nightmare when they discover they can't log out of the game. Trapped in the virtual world, Kirito and the other players are left with no choice but to try and survive the game. But they soon discover that death in the game means death in the real world, making their situation even more dire. Kirito and a few others band together to form a guild, hoping to take on the challenges of the game as a team. But others choose to go it alone, either out of necessity or a desire for power. As the players progress through the levels of the tower, they face off against merciless monsters and other players who are just as desperate to survive as they are.